Five in the fry.
Fire.
There it is.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm your host, Fabelangelo.
And this is your boy, your co-host, J. Diddy.
And this is Five in the Fry Podcast. Place where you come and get 5-course conversation with a side item of inspiration. J. Diddy, please tell us what's on the menu for tonight, brother.
Absolutely, F.A., and I'm glad that you directed that statement this way, sir. So we have a very compelling, captivating list for the five today, man. We're going to talk about Gabrielle Union and her hair debacle with America's Got Talent. She just ended up getting fired. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about taxes. Ooh, taxes. Kanye and his taxes, or the lack thereof. Also, there has been some beef between Eminem and Nick Cannon, long running actually. Ooh. This isn't just for this year, but they've had some feuds, some battles, you know what I'm saying, that are still, you know what I'm saying, going on right now. So we're gonna chop it up about that as well. Eddie Johnson got fired.
You say what?
Eddie Johnson, the police superintendent, was fired. Exactly. You gotta put your head down. I'm disappointed, but we're gonna talk about that and provide some details. And then we have a new segment that we're gonna introduce to you guys, man.
Should I do it? Should I? Nope.
No, we're gonna hold it. We're gonna hold it, man. But I'm excited about this,
man. Me too.
Should we reveal the name of it at least, or you just want to keep it straight, cold turkey, right when it's time?
Let's keep it cold turkey.
Let's
keep
it
it
cold
out
turkey.
when we get there.
Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this brand new segment. You will absolutely enjoy it, and plus it's very, very informative. So,
yes.
F.A., man, how you feeling over there today, man?
I am feeling like busting through some of these topics, man.
Let's do this, man.
Let's start with number one.
The hair debacle, man. So,
I am not my hair.
You not, man.
I am not my skin.
Some would say
I am not your expectations. No.
Okay,
Shout out to India. Yep.
India Curry. Not
Yep.
Aria Curry, no. But,
India Curry.
So, Gabrielle Union was fired. And it was because she was too black. Right. America's Got Talent parted ways with her. And they're saying it was because of some of the choice ensembles that she would wear. Not only that, the hairstyle, you know what I'm saying, that she had was a little too black, too pro-black, man. So we need you to kind of humble that hair a little bit, humble that appearance a little bit. We want you to be more mainstream, and we know mainstream means a little bit more white. Not only that, man, for the ladies out there, man, that's dealing with hair discrimination, like it's wrong to just be you. You can't go to work. You can't go to school. You're getting turned away from school. You can't even learn because of your hair. I don't know what kind of sense that makes. But in the case of Gabrielle Union's situation, it was more than just her hair. She has been on reports saying that it was a toxic culture during her tenure at America's Got Talent. There were situations where she felt some intense heat, you know, from either contestants coming in and performing. You had a white contestant coming in and performing. He had like black, like you know how you black your face.
Blackface?
Yeah, but he didn't come in blackface. He came with black hands. They edited it out. It never made the cut though on America's Got Talent because I guess people understood that it wasn't right. I guess, but a lot of things have been going on that set that you can equate to, you know, people being themselves. In Gabrielle's Union case, you know what I'm saying, her blackness pretty much superseded her ability to do her job in that sense. So how do y'all feel about that, man?
So what you're telling me is there's evidence stating that she was fired because she didn't, quote unquote, fit the standard of how she should look on TV as a black woman.
I mean, that's what it is precisely. That's precisely what it is. And
that's some BS, bro.
It's crazy,
we in 2019. That's still going on. I thought we was moving forward from this because you starting to see a lot more black women wearing their natural hair today.
Absolutely.
As opposed to maybe 10, 15 years ago.
Men as well. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Going on.
Yeah. So I thought we was getting past all of this, man. I guess according to this situation, we're not.
You thought wrong. So let me give a little bit more detail, man. Shout out to Mani Podge.
I thought you were about to say Manny Pacquiao.
Nah, man. Actually, she was a former student at the university. I mean, the school that I work at. Mani Modge Podge. I watched her YouTube channel. It was very informative.
Can you spell it out for the people who want to look it up for?
Mani Modge Podge. Check her YouTube channel out. M-A-N-I, Mani Modge, M-O-D-G-E, Podge, P-O-D-G-E. Put it all together. Mani Modge Podge. Go ahead on YouTube. Subscribe. Take a listen to her episodes. Very informative, man. And so we talked about here.
We did.
The previous episode, right?
We did.
And in my opinion, I was a little bit harsh on my opinion in concern with the young ladies choosing to wear their hair straight, right? So I'm thinking in my mindset, it was more about like y'all trying to assimilate to white culture. We trying to be more like white women, and we don't like how we view ourselves. And that may be the case for some. I can't generalize it for everybody, but when I watched Mani Modge Podge, her channel, it shed some light and it gave me a different perspective. For example, like she talked about some Pignon laws, and throughout history, man, black women of color wearing their hair high, and you know what I'm saying, in its natural state, it was. We had that pride, man, that sense of pride. We went around, you know what I'm saying, confident in how we looked. And we spent time on our hair because we looked good. And so in an attempt to make us docile, to make us humble, to strip that confidence, they started making laws that regulated how women wore their hair. So whether you were rich or whether you were poor, you had to wear this bonnet. I forget the name. You couldn't wear your hair flamboyantly or in its natural state like you should be able to.
Side note, that sounds like what's going on in the Arab community where, you know what I'm saying, they control their women to the point where the women can't even,
man,
you know what I'm saying, show their hair, show features of their face, the skin, nothing. They can't expose nothing. Otherwise, they'll be demonized in those cultures. So this is kind of like coinciding with, you know, what's going on in this situation with, you know.
So it's not just happening in America. This is happening globally, right? This has been an issue since forever. Yeah. So I changed my perspective a little bit, man, and I understand like black women out there go up in an interview with the you know what I'm saying, with their afro, they not getting no job. They losing their livelihoods. People can't even go to school because of their hair. Like, what kind of sense does that make? Yeah. So these laws, these regulations are still going on. Some of our black babies, some of our black children can't even enroll in school. I remember I read a couple years ago about a wrestling match. A guy had locks, and the judge deemed it, I don't know, but he had to cut his locks off to be able to wrestle. The hairstyle he had was illegal pretty much. So he had to cut his. So I'm just saying there are so many instances throughout our history where no, you can't do that. This is how we want you. This is our standard of what it should be. And that's discrimination at its best. That's racism at its worst.
Yeah, and that's actually illegal. Because there were laws that were passed to go against discrimination. You know, especially when it comes to affecting your livelihood.
So California actually is the first state. California is a huge state. This is the first state to pass legislation that made it, you know what I'm saying, we can't discriminate about your hair now. They passed legislation that made it illegal for any entity to discriminate on someone because of their hair. So shout out to California. The rest
specifically for their hair.
Specifically, like you can go to a job interview now with the Afro puff, and you know what I'm saying. You can wear your natural hair and not worry about someone saying no, you can't have this. You can't come in here. No, we're not going to employ you. You know, all the above now.
Yeah.
The rest of the 49 states need to adopt this as well because this is getting out of hand. Absolutely. We shouldn't, with 2020, almost 2020, we shouldn't be at this juncture right now. You know what I'm saying? Making people feel less than because of their hair. So yeah.
And I honestly feel like, a side note, this is more of a reason for us to start creating our own stuff, man.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even piggybacking on the Colin Kaepernick situation, you know what I'm saying, with all the fiasco that's going on with that, Like, this is more of a reason for us to have our own NFL, have our own TV networks,
100%.
have our own stuff, man, our own corporations, to where we are not going to discriminate against ourselves, and we have all the full power and capabilities of hiring who we want to hire and moving on how we want to move on, and we don't have to worry about going to beg our oppressors
Come on with it,
for
man.
anything, just like Kanye
What'd he
went
say?
and begged and begged, and
Mr.
he
West.
finally got what he wanted. Can you please elaborate on?
So, yes, absolutely, I
situation.
definitely will, man. So, Kanye West started this movement. There's been a movement in the religious realm where he's going around in different places, and he's, I guess, quote-unquote, having church. And I heard you got to pay to get in that mug, too, and so, of course, he's selling. Yeah, man. He was in Chi-Town a couple weeks ago, man. I think maybe a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. Not too. It was recently. He was in Chicago, pretty much bringing that Sunday service here.
Yeah.
But you know what he's doing now, man. He I guess the light bulb went off in his head. Somebody told to him about, hey, man, churches don't have to pay taxes, man. What you're doing is kind of resemblance of church. So why not go try to get your 501c3 and whatnot and become a tax exempt entity, which is a church? My thing is, well, first of all, how do you feel about that? And secondly, do you think that this was already a plan that he already had? Like, and we know he talks about his debt frequently, talks about all of the work that he does, and he still ain't got no money, still in debt. Do you think that it was a ploy that, you know what I'm saying, he trying to adopt this tax exempt situation so that, you know what I'm saying, he started receiving more of the money so he can get out of debt? Or is it really about religious? Is it really about winning souls for Christ? Or is it just about, hey, I'm doing this so I can keep 100% of the money that I profit that I'm getting from other people when they buy my product and whatnot?
Right. That's number one question. The fact that you got to pay to get in. Is this really church, or is this a performance? Is this a concert?
Wait. So as churches have long standing received, you know what I'm saying, they don't have to pay taxes on the building that they're in. They don't have to pay taxes on the money that they receive. So they've been, especially that the Catholic Church, church is a money making business, man.
Right. And I think, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
the church and the state are separate, right?
Yes.
They weren't always separate.
No.
Until, was it the civil rights movement, where the government saw that the church was sort of like this central power thing for
the
black
backbone
people.
of our community.
The backbone of our community, the backbone of our movement for civil rights.
Absolutely.
So that's when a lot would say the government came and infiltrated that and said, wait, hold on. As long as y'all stop pumping this political stuff,
Yes.
we will give you guys tax breaks.
So absolutely.
And
We're
that's how
gonna
it got
censor some things. You can't talk about X, Y, and Z now.
Right.
If you want this exempt. Right.
Right.
So, yeah.
So now, fast forward to now.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We got all of these mega churches.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, they're not talking about anything political. However, people are consistently going and giving these people money.
Yes.
So, which brings me to my next question, number 2. It's not just Kanye doing this.
No.
He learned this from somebody.
So I think
What's his name down in
Joe
Houston?
Osteen kind of sparked this. So Kanye saw, like, man, this boy got a private jet. I want a private jet.
And he's not the first person from hip hop to do that.
Well, enlighten me, brother.
Mason Betha,
Okay.
who went to Creflo Dollar and learned the game.
Okay.
So
And
this
we know
religious
how
thing,
foul Creflo can be.
religion. Look at his last name, Creflo A. Dollar. He's about the dollars. So
his middle name is Macon.
yeah,
Creflo
bro.
making dollars
And
by any means.
I think there's a quote by a big famous pastor. I can't really remember if it was T.D. Jakes or not, but they said, man, Jesus is big business, bro. Jesus is big business, man. So this religion thing is it really about spirituality, about saving souls, or is it about the American greed, the big dollar? You know what I'm saying?
It's hard. Like we both grew up in church.
We did.
And we've been in congregations where the offering bowl has come around quite often, quite frequently, 3 or 4 times during one session at a 3-hour long service.
Right.
And they like, you know how they go like, I'm gonna put $1,000. Do I have anybody else who's gonna bring $1,000 down to the altar? And if you can't put in $1,000, $100. Do I have what are my $100 people like? You know, God has blessed you. Now it's time to give back to Him. Like it's a rules, man. Like we've been bamboozled,
and we have to give in order to be blessed.
Man, dude, this pastor was making money off water, bro. He like, this Jesus water. This water gonna heal you, man. Just give me $100, and I'm gonna ship you this water, and you'll be blessed beyond, you know what I'm saying, beyond measure.
And there was another situation where T.I., he went to a church, a mega church, and Kanye was performing there, and that was the main reason he went. Him and a couple other guys from Atlanta. Him, 2 Chainz, Killer Mike. I think Diddy was down there too. I think so. Okay. But you know what I'm saying? He did that exact same thing. They escorted them to the front. He was already suspicious from that point. Escorted them to the front, and then all of a sudden they switched pastors, and then the second pastor that came up did that same exact thing.
Pulled the switcheroo on him.
I need 10 people to give $10,000 or give $1,000, or I can't remember the dollar amount, but I need this amount of people to give this amount of money. Come on, don't miss out on your blessing.
And meanwhile, I'm sitting there all nervous and less than because I got $5 that I'm giving my last $5 to the Lord. You know what I'm saying?
Lord, not the Lord.
And I'm feeling like I'm not gonna get blessed because I'm not giving $1,000 or $100. So but also, and let me make this point too. There are stipulations. There are some guidelines that Kanye has to, you know what I'm saying, grow through to. He has to meet those requirements to be, I guess, associated to receive the tax exempt. If it's about 14 different regulations. Can I read a couple for you?
Okay.
So, in order for Kanye or any entity to receive that tax exempt, there are 14 different guidelines that they have to that they're required to uphold. Number 1, distinct legal existence. Number 2, recognized creed and form of worship. Definite and distinct ecclesiastical government.
What?
Formal code of doctrine and discipline. Distinct religious history. Membership not associated with any other church or denomination.
How am I going?
Organization or of ordained ministers, so he has to have ministers. Ordained ministers selected after completing prescribed study, so that can be just his homies that, you know, that are around him a lot. He can, hey, you're a minister now. You know what I'm saying? He could just
you need a healing.
You know what I'm saying?
You need a healing.
Everybody get a healing.
Come on,
but
man.
I think they gotta, like, ministers have to take tests and they have to pay fees. You know what I'm saying?
To
it's
get
like
that
a
license
membership.
or whatever.
So my mom does that. She's a minister.
Okay.
Literature of its own. Hey, what they reading in the Church of Kanye? Do they believe in the Bible, or is it the Kanye Book of Excellence? You know what I'm saying? Is it, I don't know, whatever the case may be. Established place of worship. He traveling, so he's a nomad basically. Yeah. I don't know if that's gonna fulfill that requirement. Regular religious services. So he's consistently been doing that. Sunday schools of religious instruction of the young and schools for preparing its members. I haven't heard anything about classes. I haven't heard anything about Bible study. So I'm questioning whether or not Kanye fulfills any of those requirements. So,
bro, this is a long list, man.
It's a long list, bro. And I had no idea that this is what the requirements were for churches to receive or continue that exempt, man. So that's a lot. That's a mouthful, man. So I still wonder, is this just for, you know, more return on his investment, or is he really about God and about winning souls and about disseminating the message of love and everything that the Most High stood for? So
I mean, if we look back in recent history, I don't think this is something that just came out the blue for Kanye. I think this is something that he's been thinking about for a long time. I think people really misjudge his intelligence. You know what I'm saying? Downgrade his intelligence. You know,
so he plays off as crazy, but
he called himself Jesus. He compared himself to a lot of.
This dude think he God. He thinks he's God.
You know what I'm saying? So my question is, he's playing the long game. How is this going to look in history? And when we pull out the books,
Okay.
100 years from now, 200 years from now, 500 years from now, how is this going to be recorded? And how is this going to be seen? And speaking of recording and how we're going to see history,
Okay.
let me go ahead and throw a little curveball and speak about a recording that just has been released on Fat Joe's album.
Breaking news, people.
Breaking news. For those of you all who have been living under a rock for the last 5-10 years, there's this guy by the name of Eminem.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good rapper.
Some people accuse him of cultural appropriation or
yeah,
you know.
that's neither here nor there. That's another conversation.
I'm sorry. You're right.
But, I mean,
proceed.
Yeah, so Eminem is a pretty good rapper from
agree.
Detroit. Signed with Aftermath, Dr. Dre. Sold millions, broke records, and he just so happens to be white. A white rapper, okay? So, very successful. Fast forward to 2009, 2010. He puts out a song, and it was talking about, I guess they had a short stint or relationship, or they slept with each other, but him and Mariah Carey.
Ooh.
Me and Mariah going down, like, you know what I'm saying? So Eminem and Mariah had a little fling, and he brought that up. But
this is why she was dating Nick.
However, she's married to Nick Cannon.
Ooh, okay.
Nick Cannon didn't appreciate that.
Why would he?
So Nick Cannon, what he did, he said that he sent out a letter or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But he made a song too. He made a diss song.
Okay.
He made a diss song around that same time or same time frame. This song wasn't really that great because this is Nick Cannon. No disrespect.
Because he's a gigolo.
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, I was
Nick Cannon versus Eminem is not really that big of a.
No, that's
not a ticket seller.
Nah.
But fast forward to 2019, so that all dissipated. Whatever. He goes on Expeditiously podcast with T.I.
Okay.
Nick Cannon and T.I. And T.I. was questioning Nick Cannon about, man, you was kind of crazy going after Eminem. Eminem is one of the best rappers of all time. And Nick Cannon was like, well, what would you have done? That was your wife. You know what I'm saying? And I really wasn't on no battle rap stuff. I sent the letter to his camp.
We know you're not on no battle rap stuff.
Of course. But I sent the letter to his camp. And I was trying to get a face-to-face conversation with this man. You know what I'm saying? And to no avail. So that podcast went out, and he was stating his case. Fast forward to December 4th, I believe.
Yeah.
A track drops. Fat Joe featuring Eminem. Eminem, of course, felt the way, and he brought it up again.
If you haven't
calling
heard it,
out
check that song out.
Nick Cannon. So, question that I will pose to you, my good brother, and to all the good brothers out there in the world. How do you feel about Eminem never giving Nick Cannon that face-to-face, but still throwing shots from a distance? Being the greatest rapper of all time, but put that aside, as a man, how do you feel about Eminem?
He's a coward. How are you going to talk ish about my boo thing? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. How you talking ish about my wife and you think that, first of all, I'm not going to respond? And actually, that was an admirable thing that Nick had done, because a lot of cats would have just like on sight.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to talk to you about nothing.
I'm taking off.
You disrespecting my people.
Right.
So I'm gonna give you what you want, pretty much. So my first thought is like, M is a little coward. So do we know if that's all true? Is that accurate that he reached out and M dodged? He dodged him. Do we know that for a fact, or is there other information out there that would say that maybe Eminem did? And you know what I'm saying? But
so this is pretty much hearsay. He say, she say. You know what I'm saying? So I can only go off hearing it from the horse's mouth. That's really how I base my decisions.
Okay.
Is, you know what I'm saying? I don't go from third party. I heard that he said, she said. No, we're hearing it from the parties themselves.
And Nick
from Eminem and from Nick.
Okay.
So what Nick said, This is what he said. He's a man. I take him for his word. He said he reached out to Eminem. Eminem never reached back. Face-to-face interaction never happened. Now, fast forward, you're dissing me again on the record. Now, let me play devil's advocate.
Okay.
Can we say this is all music? This is just diss rap. It's battle rap.
We're trying to capitalize.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is this Eminem's angle? Like, let's just keep it rap, bro. You taking, you know what I'm saying? Chill. Or is Nick Cannon right for, you know?
Are there unwritten laws like you can't talk about somebody's wife? Right. This ain't my girl. Like I can understand that. This ain't my girl. I'm somebody I'm dating. We probably occasionally
and I just smashed every now and then.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nah.
This is my wife.
It's the mother of my child.
There has to be a code. I'm pretty sure there is a code that you don't come at nobody else's wife, man. So I don't think it was. I think this was straight personal. Okay. I think M was foul for this, for even coming back out with it again. Although Nick is not with Mariah now, he still shouldn't have done it. Yeah. But should Nick react? Well, should Nick take the bait now?
Well, Nick, he has a show for those of you who have been living under a rock. Again, for you guys,
there's a lot of people in the rock.
He has a show called Wildin' Out, and he, I guess, invited Eminem to come on and said, "Okay, bro, you want to do this? Come on the show.
On Wildin' Out,
Let's wild out."
He only wild out in ciphers. He not coming on no show, man. I'm sorry, because that was a low blow, man.
Yeah.
Like why do you feel the need, however many years later, to still come out and, you know, fan the flame?
Quick question: how did you feel about the Pusha T Drake shit?
I felt that was about records, about selling.
Okay.
I felt that was a ploy.
Because I think we talked about this. We talked about this in the previous season.
We sure did. We sure did.
And I felt like it was a low blow then.
You felt that was a low blow.
I felt like Pusha
T. And it not about
it wasn't
sales,
about rap
profit.
At that point. And from the horse's mouth, from Drake, what he said is he had a diss record in response to Pusha T's record.
He never came out with after Pusha had put that one out there. People ultimately said that he won when he called out his son and
talked about his best friend who was
40,
really
right?
sick. Yeah,
who
was really sick. Talk about his parents' relationship. You're bringing in my loved ones, bro. This is not just about you throwing jabs at me anymore. Yeah. You're throwing my loved ones in here, so it's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? And I thought that was a low blow, and I was like, you know what I'm saying? Let's have a face-to-face interaction then, but that's neither here nor there, man. When we talk about face-to-face interactions, you know what I'm saying? What was old girl's face doing in Eddie Johnson's whip a couple of weeks ago, a couple of months ago? What was going on, J. Diddy?
So I've heard some stories. Well, you know, we all know that Eddie Johnson was fired. Lori Lightfoot felt like he wasn't being forthcoming with information about I don't know about the whereabouts or what he was doing with this young lady. They had a bar downtown Chicago drinking. Somehow she ends up in his police vehicle.
So break it down for those people who don't know who Eddie Johnson is.
Oh, Eddie Johnson
Lori Lightfoot.
We know Lori Lightfoot is our mayor. Well, I'm not in Chicago now, but Lori Lightfoot is the mayor of Chicago, and Eddie Johnson is the former superintendent of CPD.
Chicago Police
Department, and he's been in the limelight and under scrutiny since he's taken office, because we all know that CPD has its downfalls and are continually they haven't been in the positive light of the city of Chicago in quite some time. Probably have never been in showed up in positive sights of the people of Chicago because of its long-standing reputation in the black community, and rightfully so. Like they still shooting us, you know what I'm saying? So, but he was fired actually on his day off. I seen the meme. You know how on Friday, you know what I'm saying, him and Smokey on the front porch, whatever, what have you. But he got fired on his day off, and I heard the lady was giving him some fallatio in the police cruiser, man. So they was drinking downtown, and this is apparently had been going on for quite some time now, and people saw it. And believe it or not, Eddie is a public servant. He's not exempt from scrutiny. He's not exempt from, you know, separation of job and who he is. Right? He doesn't get that luxury. Police officers almost don't get that luxury. If a police officer abuses his wife, he probably will lose his job. How you gonna be out here serving and protecting, you know what I'm saying, citizens and constituents of Chicago, and you beating your wife at the crib? It doesn't make any sense. How you out here cheating, and you hold and you're esteemed, you have this high position of authority.
Too?
No, I'm just saying. I just gave
an
alternative, an example of how you a public servant and how it matters how you are portrayed and your perception in media when you have this job
and your behavior in the public.
It's almost like you can't really make any mistakes.
Right.
So, do you think it was wrong? Do you think Lori was a little too? She pulled the trigger too quick with this firing of Eddie Johnson. She demoted him first.
Okay.
He was about to retire as well, I think the following week.
Okay.
And this happened last year. This wasn't recent. This happened last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my first reaction was, damn, you can get fired for doing something when you not on duty? Like, he wasn't even on duty, correct?
Nope.
So how do you get fired for? And I guess this is part of the deal that they make where, I don't know. But that was my first question. Like, how did he get fired for something that he did off duty? And a lot of people would say, well, he was driving drunk to begin with. So he was breaking the law.
Man.
And this is on record that he's breaking the law.
And it's also fallatio in your police cruiser. I can't. And
yeah.
We can't just be rolling around here,
just getting head in your car.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, so, and that's why I was posing questions too. Like, okay, he cheated on his wife. He was off duty. That's the issue at home.
Right.
How was it incorporated with the job? But then when they said, you know what I'm saying, well, he was operating a vehicle while intoxicated, and that's against the law. You're breaking the law.
Yes.
You're supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, enforcing the law, not breaking the law, even though we see cops breaking the law all the time.
Yes,
we do. Yeah, and they really don't get reprimanded for breaking the law either. You know what I'm saying?
I be getting mad when I see police cruisers just cruise past a red light. When they turn on their sirens and they just cruise past the light and then turn them off, and it's like they can't do that. But I think what makes this story even worse on Eddie Johnson's side is because he lied.
Right.
Talk about it's my medication. That's the reason why. You know what I'm saying? I've been tripping lately because of the medication I've been taking. You know, it said that it can help me, but whatever the case may be, he lied. Lori Lightfoot says his story was inconsistent with a lot of details that came to light. So,
like, nigga,
we can't
you
even trust
drunk.
you, bro. We can't trust you, man. How you the superintendent of police and we can't trust you, man? So that kind of negates you even being in that position.
So you was drunk, you was getting head in your cruiser, and you was cheating on your wife.
That's 3 strikes.
And when you were questioned about it, you lied. So
what? I'm pretty sure Charlamagne gave him Dunky of the month.
Dunky of the
or the year.
That's a big Dunky. That's a big Dunky.
That's
no
homo.
No.
So yeah, man. I think he deserves to be fired.
Yeah.
It's sad that he couldn't retire on his own terms. Well, he was about to retire on his own terms, but that's going to stain his legacy as the superintendent of CPD. So yeah, man.
Yeah. So I mean, speaking of staining somebody's legacy, you know what I'm saying? We're talking about history. We're talking about legacies.
That was a good segue.
Which brings us into our new segment, man. Our new segment, and we have a jingle for it. It goes a little bit something like this.
You heard it. Our new segment. We trying to bring you something fresh, something new, something that you can hold on to. And no, I was not trying to rhyme, but it just came out that way.
Hey, bars.
So, throughout history, F.A., would you agree that black and brown people have not gotten their fair share of credit for inventions, trailblazing, being pioneers just in life? Correct. You know, we've been whitewashed. We've been dominated. Our culture throughout history has been time and time again, we try to cover up the true reality of what black folk, Africans, African Americans, people of black descent have done for the entire world.
Yeah.
Like, we've been kept at bay. We haven't been recognized 100% for everything that we've contributed to this country, and not just this country, not exclusive to just this country, but
To the entire world.
to
The world, Craig.
The world, Craig.
The world,
Top
Craig.
flight of the world, Craig.
Yeah.
So we wanted to bring a fresh new segment that kind of dispels a lot of those. We want to bring some of those myths to the forefront of your minds, because you are
Not the father.
okay, Murray. Okay, Ward. But we want to empower you, man.
Yeah.
You know that thing down on the inside of you needs to, hey, bring it out. We want you to shine, man. So this is our first segment of Mythbusters, man. We're gonna dispel some of those myths. What myth do you have for us today, FA?
So today we will be talking about a man that goes by the name of Ludwig van Beethoven.
Man, I didn't even know that was his whole name.
Ludwig van Beethoven.
It must have been tough growing up.
Man,
Kids-
that was
kids
probably a normal name back
Okay,
then.
you're right about
Ludwig.
that. Yes.
Ludwig, get over here,
You said
Ludwig.
it was a whole bunch of Ludwigs.
Ludwig van. So he's arguably the most famous, maybe the most well-known classical musician or composer of all time.
And we all think that he is white.
Society has depicted him as a white male with either blonde or brunette colored hair, being shown in drawings, paintings, and illustrations all over the world.
Tell us the truth.
But in reality, Beethoven was labeled by many as a mulatto or a black Spaniard.
Come on.
But why? Well, according to Gabrielle Scott, historian and author of The Chosen One's perception of Malcolm and Martin, his father was a white German and his mother was a Moor.
We know what Moors are, right?
And if you don't know what a Moor is, the term Moor was used to refer to a group of Muslim Northern Africans.
Come on. Bring it home.
Africans, even Negroes, what they call them.
Come on.
So, Mythbusters.
Did you know that?
But check it out. Some resources claim that Beethoven was often forced and or pressured to wear white powder on his face to hide his ethnic origin when out in public. He allegedly also used body doubles for portraits, and Eurocentric historians hiding the truth of his genetic heritage.
Come on, people. Why? Why he couldn't just be who he was? What is so wrong about a black man showcasing his skills and his talents? You know, lifting his own ethnicity up. Like, why can't we?
Yeah, and I mean, it was a different time. You know what I'm saying? That he was doing this thing where black folks, we didn't get the same treatment, the same justice as a lot of other ethnicities. You know what I'm saying? And like in today's society, we are kind of, learning about it, and we're kind of getting back to where we should be.
Okay.
And I think a part of this, a part of the reason we're doing this segment is to kind of re-enlighten ourselves of who we are. You know what I'm saying? Because that's a large part of who we become as individuals, as adults, seeing what is possible.
Yes.
What we've already done. Like you said, all of our contributions worldwide. Seeing it, dang. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, all we see is we're rappers, we're ball players.
Right.
Rappers.
That's all that's
ball players.
glorified in the media.
Rappers, ball players, gangsters, thugs, drug dealers.
That's all we can be.
But
That's
wait.
all we're capable of being.
I can be one of the most famous, well-known classical composers of all time, or I can be the president of the United States.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And all of this plays into the mental makeup of a child. You know what I'm saying? And not just children, but me. This is a part of my pride as well. This is a part of my heritage. You know what I'm saying? So that's the Mythbusters. This is what we are attempting to accomplish, to bust the myths of black folks And everything that we contributed in the world, we want to bring that into the forefront. No disrespect to no other ethnicities, you know what I'm saying? But we want to focus on us because we are black.
And I think
in America,
the generation is yearning for it, man.
I think so, bro.
And it shows. I don't even think they understand that that's what they're gravitating towards. Like that's what they really desire. Like they make comments like for example, like kids in school. Right. Why we gotta learn this? Why we can't learn this? I know that. I know that Christopher Columbus didn't do this. Why we still gotta learn? So it's kind of an innate thing that's in us in this generation, but it's coming out in different ways.
Right.
But the answer to that is we have to start teaching these kids, our kids, who they really are.
Yeah.
You know,
and we
are responsible for, you know, American all of its wealth. That was on our backs. Patents, day-to-day things that we use. You know what I'm saying? We invented those things. But because we live in a society, in a world that tries to keep us at bay, you know, to push this narrative that, hey, if you white, you're dominant. This is your heritage. This is what you did. And in fact, it's not. I mean, how would you feel? That's why we're in the situation that we're in, because we don't know who we are, because we don't know that we're pioneers and revolutionaries. We're the reason why this planet is running the way it is. So,
yeah,
hey man, we gotta start empowering one another, man.
Yeah.
And it can start in small instances like this.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Conversations.
So y'all need to hear this, man.
No myth busters.
Yep.
We done asking why. Why did y'all do this to us? Why? And it's time to start correcting ourselves. Taking back power ourselves. Putting out all of this information ourselves. This is Five in the Fry, man. This is the essence of what we are, man. And I feel like your garb right there, your African Jaffe Jofer garb, you know what I'm saying? No, you are Prince Lumumba.
I got my own. I ain't got to be like nobody.
Prince J. Diddy Lumumba. Ludwig.
Straight from the country of Hammond.
Well,
Hammond,
anyways,
Indiana.
Yeah. Anyways, man, that's all the time we want to take from you guys, man. Don't forget, man, give us comments, like us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube.
We got a voicemail too that we want you guys to call.
Oh, we do have a voicemail, which is
708 320 9415. Yeah.
Don't hesitate, call in right now. We want to know, how did y'all feel about the topics that we discussed? Ladies, about the hair being discriminated against, Kanye. Was it the fact that he's trying to push religion and win souls, or was it just for the money, the almighty dollar? How you feel about how Eminem is coming at Nick? Eddie Johnson, I know y'all got some opinions about that. And then the Mythbusters, man. Yeah. We wanted, do you have some myths that you like for us to talk about? And we don't just get up here and just start talking from the hip. We actually do research on this.
Yeah.
We read articles. So this ain't something that we just wake up, get out of bed and do.
Yeah.
We do some research. We working, you know what I'm saying, to bring y'all the best quality over quantity, man. So, yeah, man.
And we're not just talking out of our booty holes.
Nah.
That's it, man. So that's all we have for the show. If all minds are clear.
Crystal.
My name is Fabelangelo.
And it's your boy, your co-host, J. Diddy.
And this has been another episode of Five in the Fry podcast. Until we meet again, we bid you guys farewell and God bless. You are now listening to Five in the Fry.
Hey, ooh, wee.